Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining in. We took a little break in the winter session. We took our holidays off, and now we are back for this particular webinar. We are continuing our series on what is GTM engineering. Okay, and this is the part 4 session. We have already done 3 sessions till now, and if you want to check out those sessions before you want to continue for this particular webinar, please go ahead and check out part 1 to 3. In these sessions, we are basically coming up with the questions that are thrown on us, and we are trying to answer as much as possible. So this is a Q&A section. The question is unending, I'm assuming it's going to be unending because it's such a vast topic that we are trying to cover. But we are enjoying every bit of it. So please stay tuned. Stay with us for the next 30 minutes or so while we answer the next set of questions when it comes to GTM engineering, which is go-to-market engineering. All right. So today, the focus is going to be around ABM, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and outbound. That's the focus for today's session. We primarily focus on B2B sales for GTM engineering. So as part of that endeavor, we are coming up with the questions and the answer. Okay. So for everybody who is not aware of who we are, my name is Ritesh Osta. I'm one of the top rated Fiverr Pro, in these categories of ABM, GTM engineering, paid ads, AI apps, and like so on. So please go out and subscribe to our channel. Check out my LinkedIn profile. Check out my Fiverr profile, where I posted all my services and gigs. All right. Now, with that said, let's move on. Why part 4? Okay. Now, that's a good question, actually. The reason why we decided to do a part 4, we have already done 3 parts, is we are going to focus on ABM, evolving into ABM 2.0. So that's very important. The ABM is evolving very fast. HubSpot is now becoming a GTM engine for modern B2B. So HubSpot started off as a CRM, then it became an inbound engine, and now it is becoming a GTM engine. So we are going to cover that journey as well. So HubSpot is fast becoming one of the pioneers when it comes to GTM engineering tool. They are launching new features every single day, and things are very super fast moving when it comes to HubSpot. Okay. I recently attended LinkedIn Sales Navigator in Eastern India, meetup, and there is a huge amount of changes that is coming up with Sales Navigator itself. There are some fancy features that they have added. I think they're going to release it to public soon, but I've seen some of the features in that particular meetup, and it was just fabulous. So we're going to talk a little bit more on that as well. And also what is the role of outbound tools and AI and, warm and signal-led outreach? What is the role of that, in this equation? And how GTM engineering can connect all of them into one revenue system. So that's the goal and agenda of this particular session. Okay. So now let's move on. So how does GTM engine turn ABM into a system? Okay, so for everybody who is not aware, ABM is account-based marketing. So a lot of large B2B companies, they do account-based marketing, and they reach out to accounts and the people working for those accounts, and they try to create relationships with those people so that they can do more sales. So that's the goal of account-based marketing. And GTM engineering is playing more and more key role when it comes to ABM. 10 years back, ABM used to be, going to ZoomInfo, downloading a bunch of companies, uploading those companies into outreach tools, and then, using LinkedIn Sales Navigator and others, and then do a LinkedIn outreach and then email outreach and like so on. So that is what it used to be. It used to be very manual. Typically, a BDR or SDR team used to lead it. Okay, and it used to be primarily a sales function. But now with the GTM engineering into the play, it has become a sales and marketing function and also a revenue ops function. And there's a lot of stuff that is being automated. So we're going to talk a little bit more on this in today's session. Okay, so the primary role of GTM engineering as of now, and I'm talking about January 2025 in ABM, is automation of account selection. Okay, for example, you don't have to manually select the account anymore. This can be very well automated using a Clay agent or a HubSpot agent or any sales agent that you create. Okay, that means if you create a nice prompt telling that, hey, you know what, I want all these companies who are into engineering services and they only provide services to automobile industry providing plastic material. Okay, so if I create this plan, then I can put this prompt into an Clay agent or a HubSpot agent or any system that you're using, or even LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then just train the agent to look for those companies. So you can automate the account selection. You don't have to sit whole day and find those account all throughout. This is what many of the SDRs and the BDRs used to do. But now you can just simply train an agent to select the account, and it can be trained further. It can be fine-tuned. For example, once you select all the companies, just make sure that this plastic keyword, for example, this kind of plastic, industrial plastic word exists in the website of those company or some specific keywords, which is only specific to that particular industry. So then it can do a next level check. It can go to the website, gather the information and then just check whether those keywords exist. Okay. And then the third level, can be done. Hey, you only pick up the accounts which have more than 500 employees. So it can call up a few APIs, maybe Sales Navigator API or any other API, Crunchbase API or whatever. And then, it can get that information as well, right? So you can train those agents as much as possible and it can just do automatic account selection. So that means the Clay agent will continuously run and continuously keep selecting the account and pushing it to your HubSpot company's account module, and that's pretty much it. And then you can segment it automatically. For example, once the company starts coming up, you can, using HubSpot agent, you can actually start doing the dynamic lead scoring. Okay, for example, this account is better, so give them 50 points. This account, if fits our RCP, give 100 points. So that lead scoring and segmentation can also be automated within HubSpot. Okay, I'm just talking from the point of HubSpot because this session is around HubSpot and LinkedIn Sales Navigator and others. But you can do it in other. You can create a custom, system as well using Enineering or any other agentic tool to replicate the same scenario. I'm not saying that you have to actually use HubSpot, but from the context of this particular webinar, I'm talking from the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, HubSpot, and they, primarily I'm going to use these tools when I'm going to talk from the context of this particular webinar. Okay, so it can automate personalization also. For example, you can use Sales Navigator and then, you can use some sales outreach tool to actually personalize the message. So based on all the data that you have fed into HubSpot, okay, and then the automatic segmentation lead scoring that has happened, then within the HubSpot also you can create a workflow and create an agent, call an agent that will create a workflow and then send a personalized email based on these information. That's super cool, right? Because now at the time of account selection and account segmentation, you have passed on a lot of information. You have added a lot of custom properties, right? Custom information on top of it. And now, possibly, you can find people working for those companies. You can call up another API like a Zoom Info or Apollo, push it to HubSpot contact point, and then call a Clay agent, which will call up a workflow. Okay, within the workflow, you can customize the email based on the information which has been updated already within HubSpot. So you can automate the personalization via AI agents within HubSpot or Clay or any other tool that you're using. And then you can also sync ad. Okay, for example, okay, if this company has qualified and we are sending them outreach, then also send the company details and the people details to LinkedIn ad account and then run ad at the same time. So you can even automate that step within the workflow in terms of email as well as ad, right? And then that's how you can create a closed loop engine. So that the idea is to build the engine, build these steps, okay, connect the step and let the engine run and you come in and continuously fine tune, right? So you'll be sitting outside an SDR and then you'll be continuously fine tuning rather than, you will be in the system and continuously doing this stuff. So that is where GTM engineering is turning AVM into AVM 2.0. And we have been talking about AVM 2.0 for a very long time. And I'm going to keep talking about it in the coming days. And hopefully we will have the webinars on where we are going to show the steps as well on how we are doing it for our customers. But right now the idea is to just take the question and try to answer it, and then we'll based on the feedback we'll create more in-depth step-by-step webinars in the coming days. All right, so this is the whole system, the AVM engine, the signal, the signal, the segmentation, the personalization, activation, all of that can be automated. I'm not saying that you have to automate everything, but within the steps you can automate a lot of stuff. You can connect the dot, and then you can be sit on top of it and continuously run the engine. Okay, that is where the world is heading on. How HubSpot and Sales Navigator can work together in today's era. Now, for everybody who is not aware of all the major changes and updates that is happening in Sales Navigator, I think this is a little too early, but Sales Navigator is releasing the agentic features within the Sales Navigator, which is very powerful, and I've seen it from my own eyes. I think things are going to change very fast. Okay, and HubSpot and LinkedIn Sales Navigator together will now become a very powerful tool. Okay, so if you are not thinking about it, start thinking around these lines. Okay, HubSpot is becoming a GTM automation tool. As I said, it was a CRM tool, then it became an inbound tool, and now it is becoming a GTM automation tool, right? So HubSpot has inbuilt CRM feature. HubSpot has inbuilt marketing features, which is super good, right? Because that was already there, and then they are adding agentic AI on top of it. So things are moving very fast. So they have life cycle, they have scoring, they have segmentation, they have list, all of that inbuilt, right? Now you can leverage that and create your own system very, very fast rather than creating something custom. Sales Navigator on the other end is known for its buyer intelligence and committee mapping. It was already there, so there is a buyer intelligence and committee mapping. Okay, now that can also be combined to HubSpot. Okay, for example, if you're looking for a buyer intelligence, for example, all the companies who are on the upward cycle of hiring, right, within this particular industry, and they are using this particular tech stack. For example, they are into e-commerce and they're using a Shopify, and they are upward, they are hiring on upward trend. The hiring is on the upward trend. So that's a buyer intelligence. That means this company is an e-commerce company selling on Shopify, and they are hiring a lot of people. Okay, fine. If you have product and service that you want to sell it to these kind of companies, then you can do the committee mapping also within HubSpot, right? So you can build a committee mapping. You can, create a complete committee of decision makers within the LinkedIn, and then you can map it with your HubSpot, right? Now, technically, how is it going to do that? I know there's a little bit of question that come up. Hey, is LinkedIn creating any API for direct integration with HubSpot? The answer is no. I don't think so. As of now, LinkedIn is willing to share the data with CRMs like HubSpot, but as a sales rep, as an SDR, we do what we do, right? Sometimes we just download the data, and upload the data into HubSpot and all of that. But a lot of stuff can be automated in this area as well. So I'm not going into the technicalities right now. We will get into the technicalities, but the buyer intelligence feature in Sales Navigator plus the committee mapping is a super good feature. It can be mapped to HubSpot target audience. If you can just go ahead and show it to you. So the target audience can be mapped. So if you go to HubSpot target accounts, so you can map the buyer intelligence and the committee mapping to the target account. For example, this is my target account. Okay. So I'm managing my target account. So this is all these companies are my tier one companies. Okay. This is my active client. This is my past client. Right. So this is a lead for me. So I'm mapping it. Right. And then I can, do an ABM around it. Right. I can, if this is a past customer, then I can go back to this particular company and say, hey, you know what, you have worked with us in the past. We have rolled out new services. Why don't you, try to check it out, right? And if there is a lead out there, then I can do a agentic research. Make sense? So we will do these sessions in the coming days where practically we will show you how we do that. Okay, and then you'll be able to do it in your end as well. So things are very exciting. Trust me. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the buyer intelligence and committee mapping, mapping it to the target accounts within HubSpot, right? If you can do that, it becomes super powerful, right? So let's move on to the next question. Uh, so as you can see, before we move on to the next question, the visual representation is the HubSpot has the signal and the workflow. LinkedIn Search Navigator has the buyer and the intelligence. Okay, and SDR can combine the two and create a multi-thread action to book meetings. That's the power of it, right? So HubSpot has the signals and workflow. This is the inbuilt feature of HubSpot now. And Sales Navigator has the buyers, obviously your target audience, and the buyer intelligence. Super good. If you combine these two, it becomes a powerful tool, right? So if you go to HubSpot here, if I can just quickly show you on the buyer intent. So HubSpot has the buyer intent, right? So HubSpot has the visitor intent. HubSpot has the research intent, right? You can do a research as well. Okay, so I am doing a little bit of research and I can run an agentic AI on this particular area as well. So I'm doing a little bit of research on these accounts, right? While I do research, these accounts are coming up, showing up through HubSpot, right? So I can do more research around these accounts. They can become my potential, what do you say, client. And then there are other signals as well. Okay, so HubSpot is providing all these features, super good features. Do the research, map it with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and see the magic happen. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next one. How does GTM Engineering use HubSpot lifecycle stages? That's an interesting question. This is a little technical question for everybody who is not aware what HubSpot lifecycle stages is. Obviously, a lead goes through a certain stage to become a customer. So, for example, you're becoming a lead and then becomes a marketing qualified lead and then sales qualified lead and then deal and then it becomes a customer, right? So that's what life cycle stages is. These are standard HubSpot life cycle stage I'm talking about. Obviously, in your business and in your industry, things might change a little bit. But this is practically what I just talked about is practically used across industries when it comes to B2B. So life cycle becomes an ABM brain. So there are certain, prospects who will be at different stages. So if I can go back and just show you what I already showed you. Okay. When it comes to ABM and target account, you see, these are the life cycle stage, right? So this company is an active client. I'm sorry, I should not be showing that, but this is the past client. This is a lead. This is a customer, and like so on. So, based on the life cycle stage, you can segment and then you can target and you can, create messaging, personalization accordingly, right? So life cycle becomes an ABM brain in many ways, right? Stage trigger can be ads. For example, if the company is a lead, then I can just add this particular one to LinkedIn audience. Okay, I can add it to an ideal customer profile and then push that particular company to LinkedIn ads, and I can run ads because they have become a lead. So there's a good chance if they see my ad on LinkedIn, they can take the next step, right, and become a deal, right? So that's one thing. Then I can trigger sequences, obviously. Okay, so I can just select a lead and then I can trigger a specific sequence. I can put them into a particular workflow. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. We'll create a session around that as well. Okay, I will add it to an ideal customer profile and then I create sequences on that as well, right? Then I can create SDR alerts. I can create tasks and meetings for SDR to take action, and I can also do deal escalation, right? So within the deal, I can put certain escalation, or so I can send certain emails to uh, certain SDRs working on particular deal, and I can take the next step. So HubSpot lifecycle stage is a very critical element when it comes to ABM. Whether the prospect is a lead or whether the prospect is a customer matters a lot in so many different decision making. So HubSpot lifecycle stage plays a very crucial role. Okay, and it ensures that it aligns the timing across all the touch points. Okay, so lead becomes an QL SQL opportunity customer, and based on certain stage that they are in, you can trigger certain agentic workflows. Okay, you can trigger ads, you can trigger outreach, you can trigger a deal operation. Okay, so you can create this entire HubSpot logic engine based on HubSpot lifecycle stages. So all of that is possible. It's a little tricky at times, and it depends business to business. Obviously, that is where a company like us comes into the play. It requires a little bit of work before you actually do that, but it's totally worth it, right? How do we detect in-market account first? Yeah. So when we say that our in-market account, from the AVM point of view, that means these accounts are in market and ready to take action. Okay. For example, if you are selling product to a automobile industry, you are selling a B2B product. For example, you are selling certain type of glass, okay, to automobile industry. Okay, then or any other industry who requires this industrial glasses, correct? They need to detect those market who are in market, correct? For example, if they hired a new procurement manager, oh, that's a signal, correct? That means they are ready to procure some more things, right? Or they are just hiring certain people under a certain department. For example, they are hiring certain people, a number of people in sales department. That means they are looking to purchase more. So I'm just giving examples here. But the idea is that you need to detect those in market account, right? And there are various ways you can detect. For example, they do a G2 profile visit, right? They're looking for a software, they are coming to G2 and they are looking for the best software, and they are checking out your G2 profile. Good. That's an in-market detection, right? If you're a software provider for this particular industry, a G2 profile visit matters a lot. It's a huge signal. You can integrate it with to your HubSpot, and then you can just put that account on certain ICP tire, and then ask your B2B sales team to reach out to these visitors, right? Website visitors. Obviously, if somebody visits your website, take certain action. These are the standard ones, right? I already showed you. If I go back to my own CRM, you know, so I can, this is something that I will keep on looking into our own website visitors, right? These are all the companies that are visiting my website, taking certain action, and I can, assign them to a certain target audience. Absolutely, I can do that, right? So, funding. So if the company is getting funding, M&A, job changes, Sales Navigator alerts, you can, set up certain conditions within Sales Navigator and get the alerts. Good. Tech stack changes, they are going to SAP or they are doing some major tech stack changes, recurring engagement, whatever it is, you can detect a lot of in-market accounts using certain signals. And there are different tools like Sales Navigator and HubSpot that can play a very important role in this, right? So there are hidden bias intent, and you can trigger a signal engine, you can create a HubSpot workflow. Workflow means outreach, email, ads, all of them. You can create an SDR AE alert so that the SDR and the AE can take the next step, and you can take up the advantage of first mover advantage. Right? That's the whole goal of ABM when it comes to GTM engineering. The first mover advantage is what we always try to. Now, what is the role of GTM? Or coming back to question number five, what is the role of GTM engineering when it comes to ABM personalization? Right? How can GTM engineering scale ABM personalization? As I've already said on the first question, the dynamic personalization, super important. Persona detection. Okay. If I put up the certain condition within Sales Navigator, I can detect the personas. Right? I can detect the accounts. Right. And then I can create an AI agentic and I can push those accounts into my HubSpot in real time using an agentic AI. AI rewriting, right? The personalization plays a key role. If you can now we have the clay agents and the HubSpot agents, we can just rewrite the email personalized to each and every account and each within the segment. Very effective, right? Conditional personalization, right? So, for example, this company's website does not have this particular keyword, which is like a industrial plastic keyword. That means they don't fully match up to our segmentation. So, we will not do that level of personalization. We just send a generic email. But if certain keywords comes into the website, if the company belongs to certain industry, certain category, then we will do more AI rewriting to create more personalization for those accounts, right? So we can create a multi-branch workflow within HubSpot, okay, to handle this. Okay, and a lot of stuff can be done within HubSpot thanks to HubSpot agents. Now, as compared, we don't have to use something like a Clay or an A10 and external tools to do that. Right? Within HubSpot, you can achieve a lot in today's 2025. All right. So, question number five: how does GTM engineering scale ABM personalization? So, 1 to 1,000 personalization signal. I mean, the whole idea is uh, when I was speaking about that is that the personalization signals and the personalization of the segment can be done within the tools which are available in the market, and that is what the whole idea of a scalable ABM 2.0 is, right? The ABM 2.0 is to create ABM which is scalable without you having to scale your internal team. So in 10 years back, when you have to scale the ABM, you have to scale the internal team. You have to hire more BDRs and SDRs and more, outreach agents and like so on, and call center agents and like so on. Today, you don't have to do that. Correct? You can go from 1 to 1,000 in no time using agentic solutions, and you can keep the team relatively smaller. You don't have to scale your human resources as per your scaling in technology. That is what the scaling ABM engineering does when it comes to scaling the ABM personalization. All right, now question number six. What role does Sales Navigator play? Okay, I think personally, Sales Navigator has upgraded. LinkedIn is going full scale, full throttle when it comes to Sales Navigator with launching new features and agentic solutions within it. So I think Sales Navigator is going to play more and more important role when it comes to B2B. It has great features to identify new champions and new accounts, map the buyer committee quickly using the AI prompts, shows the role changes quickly. You can create those conditions, and with those conditions, it's immediately send out the AI agent within the Sales Navigator will send a notification to you, alerts the rep on intent, enables multi-threading. So all these features are now being incorporated into Sales Navigator right now as we speak. And I think they're going to roll out these features very soon. I think they've already rolled out these features. So you can check out more on this on Sales Navigator. We are going to create Sales Navigator specific sessions in the coming days where we will cover all these things. Okay. So the idea is to get the company roles, personas, champions, and decision makers. Okay, and then map the buyer committee as soon as possible and get the notification as fast as possible. All right, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the Q&A session today. If you have more questions, please write down in the comment section. I know we have gone through a little fast in today's session, but we are going to continue this series. Next Thursday, again, we are going to set up with another webinar. If there are some interesting questions that come up in the comment section, we'll definitely try to incorporate that in our upcoming webinars. Book a free consultation if you want to consult with us. You can check my Fiverr profile. I'm a top-rated Fiverr Pro freelancer/consultant. You can download our GTM blueprint from our website. To go to our website, insighttab.com, to download the GTM blueprint that we follow. I already have a 3 minutes video and a 15 minutes video where I explain my process. So you can check out those as well. And just stay connected. Please do subscribe to our channel. Please like our videos. That will encourage us to create more content. Please do follow us on LinkedIn. Uh, we are creating a lot of content, and your feedback is super valuable for us to continue our journey. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in the next one.